Hello friends, so I hope you have done your preparation very well. You are waiting for the exam paper, and tomorrow we'll be tested with the NEET exam, isn't it? So this is something that you have been dreaming about all these years, isn't it? So yeah, nothing more to speak about this, nothing special to speak about this. Just I thought of making a small video for this, but I don't know how much length this video will be. I thought of sharing my experiences with NEET exam. Now, there are certain points that I have written over here. Just look at this. Follow all necessary precautions which have been given over there. So, our aim is to crack the NEET exam without getting the COVID disease. So, for that matter, the government has mentioned everything that is there in the everything that is required for you to follow, and make sure that you're following this. I don't think anybody will not follow this. Yeah, just mentioning this for sake of my own satisfaction. That's all. Now, dress code has to be done in the best way possible. Okay, don't get too much tensed about what kind of dress you are supposed to wear and not wear. Be simple in your dress that you wear. Yeah, dressing sense. Make it simple tomorrow. Make it easier for you to go there and write the exam tomorrow. And if something is not allowed over there, don't do that. Don't wear those kind of dresses. That's all. Now, reaching on time is something that is a must, because you are prone to have a lot of traffic blocks tomorrow. Traffic jams can be there tomorrow, and make sure that you reach over there even earlier than that. But yes, whenever you reach earlier or late, make sure that you are not violating the very basic idea of social distancing, right? So yeah, reach on time. It is a bit challenging, I do agree with that, but yes, we are supposed to make it possible some way or the other. Make sure you have all the documents ready by today evening itself. You should be having a file in which you have kept every document that you are supposed to do for that. See, while I was writing my 2016 exam, I went inside, I got checked in, and then I wrote my exam and came back. So my mother told me that she met a person who did not take the second paper that come across. The admit card is not just a single paper. It is one or two or three papers, isn't it? This time I don't know how this time it has been made. There are certain variations this year, but in 2016 it was two pages, and the second page we were supposed to stick a photo in that particular year in 2016. So that particular lady had forgotten to take that, or she did not see that while it was uploaded in the internet. And yes, remember that that's a Sunday morning. Now all the shops can be closed, but still they rushed somewhere and they took a printout of everything that was required, and they went to a studio. They took that particular postcard size photo that was supposed to be stuck on that particular page at that time. I don't know if it is there today also. If it is there, do that. Otherwise, don't worry about it. So I just told you that make sure that you have all documents ready, right? There should not be any doubt in this, because you are supposed to write the exam. You should keep up your presence of mind. Adequate sleep is important, because see, remember, you have to maintain your energy for a long time. You should not skip your breakfast. You should not skip anything that is in your routine. Okay, anything that is in your routine, nothing, never ever skip this. Okay, so adequate sleep is important, adequate food is important, water is important. Keep yourself hydrated, because the moment you are inside, they will not take you to the examination hall and make you sit in front of the paper. They might ask you to wait in a room till the exam is conducted. So time has to be managed over there, right? And while you go to your examination hall, take only very few books that you feel that you are supposed to revise even during the time you are going over there. Now, while you are in your car, never read the question paper, I mean the books on your own. Okay, that can lead to nauseating feeling can be there. You will be having a good strain for your eyes. So whoever is accompanying you, if it is so much important for you, or you're feeling that it is a must to be read at that particular last moment before reaching the examination hall, if you want you to read a topic, make sure whoever is following you, give him or her the book and ask her to simply read it for you, and you can listen to this in a cool mind. Okay, that is possible. I don't recommend you to read anything while in the car while you're moving, because yeah, this is a bit challenging. It's a bit demanding exam. So make sure that you are maintaining your energy level till the end of this exam. Revise on the way. How will you revise? Yes, as I told you, if you want to revise, it is only an optional thing. I will not recommend you to revise anything. But yeah, if you want to revise something, you can ask whoever is accompanying you to read it for you, right? And how will you do it in the morning? Never after you getting up from your sleep and you are after your daily routine. You can just peep at whichever topics that your mind is telling you to do, right? In a cool mind. Like, you don't you have to keep up your cool while you revise on the day of exam. You just don't run around the house with your book saying that you don't know this, you don't know that. Just do not actually try to judge yourself. Do not give marks for yourself. Do not assess yourself. See, the day of exam, you are not going to assess yourself, isn't it? The exam will assess you. That is a different thing. Let that happen on its own. Don't worry about it. As far as you are concerned, your job is not to assess yourself, just to go through the books if at all it's required for you at that day. Fine. The rest, I know you will take care of. Yeah, because you are of that age where you can take care of yourself. So only these things I want to tell you now. This can work for you, this may not work for you, it's on your choice, but yeah, this is something that I always tell my juniors to follow whenever they write any exam. Okay, so keep up your cool, and let's talk about some of my experiences that I had with my NEET exam. So guys, my first NEET exam was in 2016. So this was the NEET 1 question paper that I wrote in 2016. I have just kept all my question papers in a file like this, so that I can preserve it, so that I can teach you and satisfy myself. Like whenever in the future, if I look at all these kind of question papers, I can understand that okay, I have been through all these things and I have come out after this. So this was exceptionally challenging for me. This question paper was exceptionally challenging for me. And just see this, I will tell you something interesting here. See, the point is that there are 3 seals over here, isn't it? You are not supposed to break open these seals once before you are asked to break the seal. So during the cool of time within the examination hall, with this question paper right in front of you, how can I keep myself from opening this? I just wanted to peep inside, just look at the first question that I come across in this question paper to assess this. So I was extremely tense during that particular time. But I can't do that because there are 3 seals over here. So even if I just try to manipulate this, I will not see anything except this Hindi which is written over here. But since I follow English for writing my question paper, so I may not understand what is there in Hindi. So I had to patiently wait, tell myself it's okay, and patiently wait till the bell was rung and they made us open this question paper. And yeah, this was the question paper. This was exceptionally challenging for me. This is not so difficult, but yes, it's challenging because it requires good presence of mind to solve this. 1 or 2 questions in physics were extremely difficult, otherwise everything was almost normal. Now the point is that I would like to tell you here is that yeah, there is a question like changes in GnRH pulse frequency in females, which is controlled by circulating levels of, you have GnRH here. This will stimulate FSH synthesis and LH synthesis by the pituitary. This will act on the ovary and it will start secreting estrogen during the follicular phase or proliferative phase, and progesterone in the secretory phase. Right? So both these estrogen and progesterone will have a negative impact on this. It has a negative impact on this. It has a negative feedback, right? So the answer is estrogen and progesterone. Another thing that I wanted to tell you is something on telomerase. Just remember nothing here. Remember that increased telomerase activity means cancer. So cancer is caused by increased telomerase activity. Remember that. Another thing is about a hormone called by the name of inhibin. Right? Inhibin is present in males and females. Remember, it inhibits FSH. So inhibin inhibits FSH action. Right? Inhibin inhibits FSH action. So these were the 3 things that I wanted to tell you over here. Now there is another thing that I just to tell you these things. If you feel that you don't know these things, doesn't mean that you will not crack tomorrow's exam. Okay, nothing of that kind. Just wanted to share some experiences with you, that's all. There was a question, water soluble pigments in plant cell vacuole. So you have a plant cell, inside you have a vacuole. The function of vacuole is storage. And what is the water soluble pigment in vacuole? Anthocyanin. Anthocyanin is a water soluble pigment. This is a water soluble pigment. Okay, just remember that. So this was a difficult paper, but I managed to crack around, I got a mark around, tentative mark around 520 in this paper. But yes, being in general category, I had a doubt whether I would get into a government medical college. So I was, yes, I had no other way but to opt for NEET 2. But yeah, this is the question paper for NEET 2. Just look at how the paper quality has come down when you come to NEET 2 2016, right? So in NEET 2, yes, I went again within 1 month. 1 or 2 months had occurred, had elapsed during the time from the first exam to the second exam, it seems. So this paper, what problem did I make? I made a lot of silly mistakes in this paper. So finally, whichever mark that I had around 520, it went below 400. I mean, below 500, within 480 range, I got a mark in this. So that means I had no other way, either to give up medicine or to take up, give up and take up some other course or go for repeating. So I opted for the second one. And I went to another institute, and I had to stay over there. I stayed for around 9 months after NEET 2 before the next exam. I mean, the next NEET was conducted in 2017, right? In 2017, I wrote my next exam, that is next NEET exam. This is NEET 2017. So this was my last NEET exam that I have wrote in my life. And yes. And finally, guys, yes, it was 2017, and I wrote my third NEET exam in a way. Third NEET exam. This was my question paper of third NEET exam. So I hope you can see that I have marked my, yes, the day of exam, isn't it? May 7th, 2017. So this was the day I was sitting like you all in the examination hall in front of this question paper, and waiting for it to get open to solve all questions possible. And I was extremely tensed during that particular time, and I clearly understand how you might be feeling now. Right, so I was sitting in the examination hall just like what I did in 2016. I tried to open this just like this. I try to peep inside by just lifting off these pages and looking at the questions, and at least one question if I know at that particular cool off time where you're not supposed to open it, but you can just peep inside. That I was so much tense that I did that, just like what I tried to do in 2016, but in vain. But in 2017 only one sale was there, so I thought of doing that. Now which question did I come across here? Yes, this question. See, this question, I still remember this. Even after learning so much about sickle cell anemia, thalassemia, and after getting into MBBS, this is something that I will never forget, because it was this question that I saw. I hope you are able to see this now. I'm just zooming this into the camera now, isn't it? So thalassemia and sickle cell anemia has been asked in this question. And the moment I saw this, I was pretty sure that I knew everything about thalassemia and sickle cell anemia. Okay, then I started remembering everything about this, whether it is a qualitative defect or a quantitative defect. And when I understood that I know the answer for this question, then I was pretty much confident to attempt this question. But I don't know why I did that. I don't recommend you to do this tomorrow also, but I thought of sharing these kind of things that have happened in my life with you in this particular video. So just discussing certain things about those things. Remember guys, sickle cell anemia, right? It is an autosomal recessive disorder. Chain of the hemoglobin is affected. Normally in beta chain, what are the amino acids present here? First amino acid is valine, leucine. This is histidine, right? Histidine, leucine, threonine, proline, glutamic acid and glutamic acid, isn't it? Yeah, this is glutamic acid. How will you read this? How will you remember this for tomorrow? If they are asking this question, very hungry lady, throwing party going Goa. Very hungry lady, throwing party going Goa. And what happens here? On the 6th position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I have glutamic acid. And this is mutated. And now here I will be having a valine. Point mutation. Glutamic acid to valine. Okay, frame shift in a way, but yeah, point mutation is happening over here. So this is valine, glutamic acid to valine is happening over here. Now what happens? RBCs are spherical. Okay, I do agree. This is how the RBCs look like. Now when this patient is exposed to some kind of stress. What kind of stress? Not an emotional stress. See, if the patient of sickle cell anemia is going to write the NEET exam, I don't mean that kind of a stress. I mean some kind of excessive temperature or any disease, he is getting a disease. These kind of physical stress or the stress that the body is actually having, not exactly the mental stress. This patient can have a transformation of this kind of a normal biconcave disc-shaped RBC into a sickle-shaped RBC like this. Now what will happen after this? This will clog your arteries and that can lead to the other problems. Now tell me what is happening here. Is the hemoglobin synthesized? Yes, it is synthesized. But is there a problem in the synthesis? Yes. Is the quality of the hemoglobin affected? Yes. So sickle cell anemia is a qualitative defect. Right? Now talk about thalassemia here. Thalassemia can be alpha thalassemia, beta thalassemia. Okay, anyway, your hemoglobin is alpha 2 beta 2, isn't it? Adult hemoglobin is alpha 2 beta 2. Alpha 2 gamma 2 is your fetal hemoglobin, child hemoglobin, HF. Alpha 2 gamma 2 is child hemoglobin, adult hemoglobin is alpha 2 beta 2. If beta chain is less synthesized, production of beta chain is decreased, then you call it as beta thalassemia. Alpha chain is decreased, that means alpha thalassemia. So here the amount of hemoglobin is reduced, so you call it by the name of a quantitative. This is quantitative. Quantity of hemoglobin is reduced. So sickle cell anemia is a qualitative defect, thalassemia is a quantitative defect. Remember this, that's all. How will you remember this? Very hungry lady throwing party going over. My teacher used to teach me in this particular way. So yeah, I remember it even now with this particular mnemonic. But what is important for you is to remember this. 99.9% times if they are asking a question, it will be centered around this kind of a point here. Right? So thalassemia is due to less synthesis of globin molecule. That is the correct answer for here, for this question, isn't it? Yes. Sickle cell anemia is a quantitative defect? No. Thalassemia is a quantitative defect. Sickle cell anemia is a qualitative defect. So they are just messing up with this kind of a thing. Right? In a cell, where is ATP synthesized? Mitochondria. In a muscle, where is calcium stored? In the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Sarcoplasmic reticulum is a storehouse of calcium. Remember that. Okay. So if I keep on saying like this, and then this video will go on endlessly. Yeah, so that's it, guys. So the NEET exam opens up new vistas to you to explore. So friends, keep up your positivity and attempt your exam to the best of your abilities. All the best for tomorrow's exam. Thank you.